All right. Hello, everybody. Today is day 18 of my 30-day challenge. And you know when the live starts a little later, it's because it's been a longer day. It's been a great day, don't get me wrong. It just takes a little longer for me to get started. So, but I'm here. Like I said, hell or high water, it's gonna happen. So I still see that people are watching, but I don't see comments. So I keep trying to troubleshoot. Sorry, guys, for not being able to answer questions live. I'm still gonna figure it out today. We'll find out. I'll say the talk first, and then at the end, I'll see if I can address questions again. So today, surrendering control and the practice of surrendering control. I have a sweet friend um, who asked me today, what are other things I can do to help with the control issue that we all live with? And, I told her, you're not the only one. It is amazing. Every day is like, again, I walk the talk. Even today, I had an issue with control. Um, but what I've noticed, it's really the key to being able to surrender control. In it's a practice, it's a constant monitoring. That's number one. And I told my friend, yeah, you will. Number one, the fact that she's already mentioning that she has issue with the control, that's fabulous. As you already know, it's on you. So pat your back there, yes. Okay, so this is what's happening. What can I do to change it in the moment? And one of the things that, as I meditated on it a little bit more, and one of the things that I've noticed for me, what's allowed me to release um, or to surrender control in any given situation is I ask the question, something like, what else is possible? Or, um, the universe has for me, it was the universe has my back at one point. It was all the books that I've read. I have so many books that I've read on stuff like this, but I have certain ones that just stick with me. And from Access Consciousness, the what else is possible is a fantastic one because you kind of open it up to the universe to answer for you. But I'll give you an example, like for okay, and what's really cool, or what I mentioned today, the key to surrendering control is knowing that everything is fine, that all is well always, that there is nothing to fear, except, of course, fear itself, the anxiety itself. Of course, that's easier said than done, right? Especially when we're in the moment and where full emotions are just blaring inside and there's nothing we can do except just either allow them their course, which is probably the healthiest thing you can do. Um, that does not mean you blow up in people's faces. You just let that emotion just wash over you. You get really good at it when you are, again, in that walking the talk thing of this person or this action or this thing that triggers me all the time is triggering me right now. So what I can do is I can allow that anger to wash through me and just kind of pass me like a wave. In fact, I kind of love this in Dallas. They had a little Montessori school and they were doing a trial with little kids between, I believe it was like the ages of 3 and 5. And they were teaching them how to emotionally regulate themselves. And how they taught them was by using this little bouncy ball that had glitter inside. And they taught them that when you have a strong emotion, your brain is, all the chemicals are going off, and your body feels the reaction of either anger or sadness, whatever it is. But ultimately, the emotion itself calms down. So they started teaching them to settle their glitter. And they got it. Absolutely. So what's really cute is then when they were outside playing in the playground and one of them got all bent out of shape, they would call out on each other and say, "Hey, settle your glitter." And what's really cool is that they allowed each other the space to be angry, to be sad, to be whatever, without judging them for that emotion. So that was amazing. So if you can do that while you're in the hijacked moment of pure emotion of you can't control something, that's huge because you're already learning on how to let that sensation go by. And again, this is what I love about yoga, because in yoga, we talk about being in a pose, in an asana, the physical aspect of yoga. And, you're holding a pose like chair. And that's a fantastic pose to make all kinds of little things show up for you. And when you're in that squat, holding those arms above your head, and you're trying to just breathe through that, and you're breathing through sensation. That's what some yoga teachers will call that. It shouldn't be pain, it's sensation. If you're in pain, you got to be careful. You might be hurting your body, and your body doesn't want to be hurt. So that's what I loved about yoga. You learn on how to breathe through these things. So it's interesting how, again, my physical practice led me deeper into my spiritual practice. Because in the end, we can talk about philosophy all day, but if you're not applying it to your everyday life, I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but just a little bit, because nothing's a waste of time. But you know what I mean? It's the idea is you need to apply it into your everyday if you want to really get the benefit of it. So that's another thing that I do. So today I was at Costco and I bought my fruits and veggies, and I was I was hoping, because I had so much that I had to do, I was hoping to end up from Costco, go to Trader Joe's, and just make this beautiful transition to go pick up the kids and be in flow. Usually, when I'm in that fantastic mode of everything's fine, all is well always, in my knowing, in my trusting, things just smooth, right? So today, as I'm checking out, you know how they check out your whole list at Costco and they double check. Well, I got the lady that checks everything that day. She started counting. She's like, wait a minute. And then she counted again. And so I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, this is interesting. And she's getting, of course, all like upset, not upset, but like she's, oh no, I'm going to have to make this lady go back inside to pay for the two things that are missing in here. So she's really trying to be very, very sweet with me and explaining, I'm sorry, but you have to go back. You got to take this to the counter. And she starts writing. And in my head, I'm thinking, I wanted to go to do all these things. And then I just kind of said out loud, I'm like, yeah, no, I just have to be patient, lady. And it was funny because I'm like, no, and I'm talking to myself, not to you. She's like, oh, okay. Because I'm always talking to myself. And it was funny. It's like, there's a reason for this. And that's one of the things that I just know. There's a reason for the slowdown. Before, I would get really upset. Like, how dare these people not check this stuff? I mean, because it was a gentleman who helped me check the stuff out. So it was really their fault, not mine. I didn't do the scanning or anything like that. So but what's it again, it doesn't matter whose fault it was. This was what's happening. I have to go back. So the time that I thought I had to surrender, and then in the trust that there was a reason for that. And that made it much easier to surrender, because then it's like, okay, what am I supposed to be looking at in this moment? And that's what's really cool about being in awareness, being in the knowing that I'm trying to control this to the step one. Step two is stop, drop, and breathe. Why am I trying to control this? Why is this so important? Why am I making this so solid and so dense when I can just let it be? And that's what I did. I let it be. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just go take it over there. Blah, blah, blah. And what's amazing is I did not get to go to Trader Joe's, but I was okay with that. And what was magical was that as I still went to go pick up the boys early, they were actually outside already. They just got there waiting for me, so it was just perfect anyway. I didn't know where I was thinking I was going to get enough time to Trader Joe's. I have an issue with time management. Awareness. And so the universe is conspiring to help me to make sure that I get to the places I need to on time and to have enough time to be at peace with it all. And then on top of it, this afternoon, Mom wanted to help me cook. And then immediately I'm like, okay, I have so much to do. And with Mom, it takes a little extra time because she forgets things, but I know it's joyful for her. But I was in this mindset of like, I still have to go out and go back out to get to Trader Joe's to get the things I need to get. But then I was like, you know what? Breathe. And I literally just stop in the kitchen I ask, what's right about this I'm not seeing? What's right about me I'm not getting? All these little questions. What's right about this I'm not getting? What's right about me I'm not seeing? Either way. And then I don't answer it. I just let it be. And what's interesting is that that knot that I had in my chest, kind of like, again, like settle your glitter, just starts undoing itself. And then all of a sudden I'm joyful again. It's like, yeah, exactly. Why am I getting all bent out of shape about this? Okay. And it's actually faster than I thought it would be. She enjoyed it and she cooked well and it was delicious. It was fantastic, and she got what she needed. I got what I needed. And I was still able to go out because I have a fantastic husband that is a team member here. He's like, yeah, you go do that. I'll do this, blah, blah, blah. Good. So, wherever you don't have support, make sure you find that support system. That was another thing I was going to say. When I do have very difficult issues of control, so these are just little things, right? But they always go down to some really deep programming. When it really triggers you, there is something there to be released. This is where I work with clients to see what's the bottom belief. And it usually is something about I'm not going to be loved anymore. I'm going to be ostracized from or exiled from humanity itself. I'll die by myself. And it's funny because that can stem from picking up my kids late from school, and I'm going to be perceived as a terrible mother. People won't like me. I'll lose my stature in society, whatever. And then you keep going down that way until you find out that it's, again, you will feel like you're not accepted or you didn't do your job, whatever it is. It's different for each person. There a lot of them are the same programs, but how we approach, how we get there, it's because it's your own experiences, right? So that's why it's so individual and so personal. It is your path. That's the beauty of it. It's your path. So it's funny that we're talking about control and surrendering control when we have such powerful spirits, souls that are very much in control of this experience beyond what our little ego can see here. So what I try to also tell people is when you feel like you only have this point of view, this avenue, this is what's going to happen today. You have just blocked out the magic of the universe by saying, I need to go from this store to that store and get this done and get that done. Guess what? If you just remove that and you're still going to go to the stores and you're still going to do what you got to do, but you're going to go with the mindset of, oh, I wonder who I will meet. I wonder what I will see. I wonder what I will hear. I wonder what magic I'll encounter today. It's a very different energy than I gotta do this shit and this has to be done, blah, blah, blah. So it really is, everything has to do with your own perception. And that's what control is your perception of what is, what should be, which, by the way, I remember hearing this one time and I love it. The word should is shit because it just takes away so much from the possibilities of what may or may not be. So I hope that helps. That's part of how I work through with control and releasing control. One more thing I have to this is pretty magical too. Back when we were living in our apartment, our 2-bedroom apartment, all 4 of us, and it was middle of COVID. Mom was not doing well, assisted living place she was at. I had been praying for her to somehow, for all of us to be together somehow. And I surrendered control over the situation because all I was doing was getting very upset that I couldn't have her and I couldn't help her. And it was a very helpless feeling situation. But I prayed knowing that I would get an answer. Well, I get a leak in our master bedroom closet right over my meditation station. And I thought that was interesting because it was the leak, somehow it didn't affect anything because we heard it. We somehow were awake at midnight. We always go to bed really early. We were watching My Big Fat Greek Wedding, one of our favorite movies of all time. And we were laughing, and all of a sudden it sounds like a dog's peeing on carpet. I'm like, we don't have a dog. So we run over, we get everything out. And what's magical is that I could have been very, and I was, kind of like annoyed, but I could have been very upset at the whole apartment thing because in the middle of the night, the people upstairs weren't answering their door. We didn't know what was happening. We thought maybe somebody was overflowing a bathtub. I prayed again. So I'm like, please, Lord, make this leak stop. And it somehow did stop. Magical. I'm not kidding. And then it stopped until the following Friday, a little bit on Tuesday, and then Friday. The maintenance guys came on Monday. They came in on Sunday because they love us. And then Monday again, just to double check. They couldn't see that there was nothing from the apartment upstairs, so we just thought it was a fluke. We would find out later. That Friday, I'm in the kitchen and I'm texting, and all of a sudden I get water on me, and it's the light in our apartment kitchen, and it's leaking through that light, and it's on me. I'm like, what the? And I immediately call them. It's 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, sorry guys, this leak is now coming in through our light. And the guys come in. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's Friday. And they were so sweet. And one of the guys, who was one of our first maintenance guys, I ended up asking him about his dad because he had just passed, and we just, we're talking. And I told him I really wanted mom to live with us because this was just not ideal. It's killing us. And all of a sudden he says, well, interesting you mention. There is a 3-bedroom apartment with a study and a garage about to be released into the public. Why don't you go to the leasing department, see what you can do? And I was like, this is ridiculous. And that's what happens when you let go of control. And no joke, I called mom, and it was a very, very, it's one of those calls where these are the risks. You could die because it's very much, the COVID, I don't know what's going to affect, but I know you're not doing well in there. And what was interesting is the first thing she said is, when do I move? She's like, death versus this? Absolutely. That's how bad things were at assisted living places. It's just, and they were doing their best they could, of course. I understand with whatever mandates they put out there. But yeah, we broke out mom basically, and it was the best thing we could have done. And then the house appeared out of nowhere. So releasing control, surrendering to what is happening, and just inviting the magic in, you'll be shown little bits and pieces of other possibilities that you never even thought possible. So I hope that helps with letting go of control and the practice of it. I know it's like 2 videos in one, but I just have to share those miracles because that's how I know things are fine. Because every single time some crazy miracle happens, we're not even trying. All I did was just say some prayers, work my, meditation, be in alignment with what is, and it just works. So sending out to you guys, your challenge is to find a way to practice that at every moment in time. Just breathe, settle your glitter, allow those emotions to wave through, and open up to what else is possible. Access Consciousness people. Check them out. All those books that I talk about, Access Consciousness. So sending you all so much love and light. I'm going to go camping. So I will be doing this live out in Arkansas at a friend's farm. I might just have some friends with me doing the live. We'll see. Sounds like fun. But I send you all so much love and light. Remember, if you don't catch me here, if you don't catch the lives here, you'll catch them in YouTube on my channel. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe to the channel if it calls to you, and then hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. Love you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 19. God bless. Bye.